Ba-da-bum, 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 ba-da-bum.
All right, Week 6 NFL. We'll get right to it. Obviously, no Thursday game this week since Bills Chiefs got moved because Bills just played on Tuesday, and I guess you can't play an NFL game 2 days after you've already played one, so that makes sense. But we'll start Sunday, the early games. Again, we've got 9 games, despite the fact that the DirecTV game mix only has 8 windows. So here we go again. Even though we've only got 14 games this week, they still wanted to cram 9 into the same window. But we'll start off. Houston's at Tennessee. Man, the Titans look good. They come off the COVID break and destroyed Buffalo, who was 4-0. Houston, got to win after starting 0-4 with a tough schedule. I think Houston's going to make this a game. I wouldn't go to sleep on them here, but I'll take the Titans to win just because they just look good in every phase. So we'll go with the Titans. Cincinnati's in Indianapolis. Colts have one of the better defenses, and the Bengals. Listen, Burrow got off to a decent start, but he's still a rookie. He's going to struggle. AJ Green is gone. If not from injury, he's just not productive anymore. Boyd and Higgins are okay, but they don't have a lot of offense outside of Mixon. That's clicking right now. So I'll take the Colts. Even though Colts offense is a little shaky, they could find a way to make this game more interesting than it needs to be. But I'll take Colts. Atlanta's at Minnesota. Falcons finally fired Dan Quinn. 4 years too late, but whatever. We'll take it. And then, Minnesota also struggling. They, blew that game in Seattle last week. They won't have Dalvin Cook, but Alexander Madison is great handcuff, blah, blah, blah. The story there. Atlanta will probably make this interesting because, every time they fire a coach, even though the team is bad, sometimes they respond the following week. But until Atlanta gets some of their act together, I'm not picking them to do anything, even against a team like Minnesota, who also can't seem to get it together. I'll take the Vikings in that one. Denver's at New England. Cam Newton should be back. This was a game that was supposed to be played last week. But with COVID and stuff, they decided against it. Now Broncos should get Drew Lock back this week too, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. But you can't give Belichick an extra week to prepare, especially for a team like Denver. So New England will win this game. Washington's at the Giants. Hey, the Giants. I mean, listen, the Giants are terrible, and they gave Dallas a run last week, and that doesn't really bode well for the Cowboys. But this will be another death struggle because this is a game that both of these teams are looking at, going, "Oh, we can actually win this game." I'll take Washington in this one, but don't be surprised if this is where the Giants get their one win this year. But I'll stick with Washington. Baltimore's at Philadelphia. The Eagles, tough loss against the Steelers last week. At least they look better on offense. The Ravens, listen, they had a pedestrian win last week on offense against a banged-up Bengals team. Listen, they took care of business and won the game, but, they haven't necessarily been lights out on offense either. Philly's going to make this game interesting, which, of course, I'm not rooting for, but I could see Philly, hanging in this game for a little while. But I'll take Baltimore to win. Come on. Cleveland's at Pittsburgh. Browns are 4-1. The Steelers are 4-0, or they're undefeated, whatever they are. Big game here, obviously. If Cleveland were to win this game, they're obviously going to challenge for the division in the AFC North. I mean, geez, I mean, the Browns could be 5-1. I mean, have any of us seen that in our lifetime? I mean, I'm sure it's happened at some point, but I would like to take Cleveland an upset here, but I just think the Steelers they're just too consistent. Roethlisberger is back. They're clicking on offense. I don't know if you're getting 4 touchdowns out of Chase Claypool this week. So all you guys that chased his points on the waiver wire this week, congrats. You don't get those points retroactively, but this will be a good game. This is the best game in the early window Sunday by a mile. But I'll take Pittsburgh. I'll take Pittsburgh in this game. Chicago's at Carolina. The Bears are 4-1. Somehow they're making it work. They won a tough game against Tampa last Thursday night. So they've done it a couple different ways, the Bears. Carolina has also won a couple of games here. They don't get McCaffrey back yet, but he's probably back in a couple weeks. Listen, the winner of this game is in contention for a playoff spot. I mean, the Bears win at 5-1. Carolina will be 4-2, and getting McCaffrey back. So this is a big game for these teams to keep themselves afloat in the playoff hunt. Now I'm going to take the Bears here. Carolina. Listen, I mean Carolina can score points, but I just think the Bears are just going to be one of these teams this year that's just be like, how's this team winning games every week? The defense is okay. Foles will steady the ship, whatever that means. And, they've got a couple of weapons on offense that can keep them in contention. Listen, it'll be a good game, but I'll take the Bears in this one. Detroit's at Jacksonville. Detroit coming off a bye. Jacksonville, what did they even do? They lost to Houston, that's right. I don't know. I'll take the Lions, but let's be honest, who cares? These teams are not going anywhere. But I'll take Detroit. You only got 2 games in the late window on Sunday. One of them you just pass on unless you're in a survivor pool, where I'm sure the bulk of people will be taking Miami over the Jets, and rightfully so, because Miami will beat the Jets. The Jets release Le'Veon Bell. It just never ends with the Jets. I mean, every 10 years or so, 15 years or so, they give you a glimmer of hope. I just, man, if you're a Jets fan, I just don't know what you do with yourself right now. I mean, it's just, especially if you're getting older. I mean, I got buddies, in their mid-40s, and it's starting to dawn on them that it's not going to happen in their lifetime. They just missed Joe Namath, and they've been dealing with this bullshit for almost 50 years now with the Jets, and it's not getting any better anytime soon. Anyway, Miami's going to win the game. Spent too much time on that. And of course, the other game late Sunday afternoon, Green Bay at Tampa, Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Blah blah blah. Big game, obviously, for playoff position in the NFC. I'm going to take Green Bay just because I think Tampa, they're still not in sync. They struggled in that Bear game last week. Brady forgot what down it was, and Green Bay's coming off a bye, and they've got better players. I think they get Devontae Adams back. We'll see if Robert Tonyan's for real. I'm going to take Green Bay in this one. Sunday night, you get Rams at San Francisco. NFC West, best division in football, maybe. Certainly the best division in the NFC. And the Rams, again, the Rams are sitting there 4-1. 49ers, I don't know what the hell happened last week. I'm pretty sure we were surprised by that, getting blown out against Miami. I don't know. I think the Rams win this game. If this is the Rams game to win. Because 49ers are banged up. I don't know who's starting at quarterback. I don't know if it matters. and the Rams have been pretty consistent on offense this year. Now again, they're 4-1. They're beating up on the NFC East, so we'll see if they're for real. But I think they go in and get the win here Sunday night. So I'll take the Rams. Monday night we got another doubleheader. I got a late afternoon one. This one is going to be 4 o'clock Central Time. Kansas City's at Buffalo. This was a game that was supposed to be Thursday. Both these teams coming off a loss. Both 4-1. The Chiefs got surprised by the Raiders last Sunday. But the Chiefs are the best team. I mean, they're the best team. Now they get Le'Veon Bell. Just adds to the depth. Gives them another weapon to put on the field. This will be a fun game. I know I say that a lot, but watching football is fun, so I don't know what you want me to say. But Kansas City will win the game. And then the regularly scheduled Monday night game, Arizona is at Dallas. Obviously tough injury to Dak Prescott last week. Difficult to watch. Fortunately, I was at my son's baseball doubleheader, so I actually didn't watch most of the game, although my phone was blowing up with the various chats I'm in. But listen, Cowboys. Cowboys are in first place in the NFC East, the most disgusting division probably in the history of football. And Andy Dalton is capable. I mean, the reason he paid that guy $3 million. And listen. Obviously, Dalton's on the back end of his career, but let's be honest. If the Bengals weren't in the position to take Joe Burrow, Dalton would probably still be the quarterback of the Bengals. They may have drafted somebody else to kind of have him groomed, but they were able to get Burrow, so they didn't really need to keep Dalton around. So Dalton's capable. And listen, he's got a lot of weapons. It's in a weird way. I think the Dak injury might wake the Cowboys up a little bit. Like now, there's kind of like a focus and a purpose where they were just kind of drifting through the first 4 weeks, where it's just like, yeah, all right, we can score on offense. We don't really care to stop anyone on defense, and I don't know. They were just kind of like just drifting aimlessly. So I feel like this injury will actually, in a weird way, kind of galvanize the team and help them focus. And listen, they're in a bad division. It's either them or the Eagles. So there's no reason that they can't perform well here. And let's see what happens. And I think the and listen, Arizona's not impressive enough where you have to really worry about whether or not they can win this game. Of course they can win this game. So I'll take the Cowboys. So there you go. All right, so my kid does not have any baseball games this week, so that's he's got a bye week. It doesn't matter because the Cowboys are playing Monday anyway, so we'll see you Monday night for that game there. And then there you go, Week 6 NFL.